Have you ever got the best of Austin O'Connor?
he won't like me telling this story, but there was one day.
Let's go, baby.
Austin's gonna kill you, dude. And I'm like, I know. I know.
Is that the case? What's your weight class you're going to be at?
I'm not 100% sure. Definitely not 149 pounds.
Technically wise, is your biggest focus during this off season? Is it a position, a certain move? What are you mainly focused on?
Yeah, I'd say bottom for sure. I gotta get more comfortable picking bottom in big matches. And
what did you say that was like the biggest difference from this past season at the start of the year to the end of the year? I mean,
one of them's like so small, but I vividly remember like going into the Big Ten tournament, I was telling myself like, hey, I just need to make my stance lower. Everyone knows. You ask anybody in the room, I'm first couple rounds, I'm a good bargain. I'm a good pick.
2025 NCAA Qualifier at 149 pounds and freshman phenom out of Illinois, folks. And quite frankly, had Ridge Lovett on the ropes this past year at the Big Ten Championships, folks. This is welcome Kannon Webster to the show. Folks, this is BEG Wrestling. We are here. Kannon, man, I want to thank you for joining the show here, and you had a pretty incredible freshman year this past season at Illinois, and I want to start off by just asking you, what was your biggest takeaway from this past season?
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot during the season. It was just kind of like, I don't know, I thought I was making some mistakes early on, a lot of like weight management mistakes, just kind of like little freshman level mistakes, I would say. Stuff like you kind of pick up as you get older, and more experience in college. So, yeah, there's a lot to take away. Like I just learned to cut my weight better, like how I need to be training, stuff like that. Just little minuscule details that kind of just make the difference for that the push in March,
Yeah, no, I mean, I can imagine it's a significant jump from high school to college, but now Danny Pacino and Dom just told me it took them like over a month to get their first takedown once they were in the room. Tell me that wasn't the case for you.
I mean, it kind of depends who you're going with a little bit. But it took me I don't even know how many. I've not scored a lot on Austin O'Connor thus far, so yeah, it really kind of depends who you're going with. Everyone in college is a killer, so yeah, it definitely takes a while to kind of get used to it. And yeah, I mean, I like to wrestle, so I was getting takedowns, but like I said, kind of depends who you're going with. I'd say it definitely took a long time before I took Austin O'Connor down at all. So,
well, you definitely made strides throughout the year. But tell me if this is right. Is this interesting fact correct? The fact that you and Danny Pacino, both of your first wins in college were against Dylan D'Amelio. Is that true?
It wasn't my first college win, but it was my first ranked win, I believe.
First ranked win. Okay.
Fun fact. Yeah.
Because you're living with Danny, right? You and Danny live together over there. What's that all about?
Yeah, we do.
What's that like?
It's definitely crazy. He's good to live with. He's pretty clean. Definitely no real struggles living with him. He's keeps it clean. Keeps himself when he needs to. He helps out around the house. So he's got a crazy dog sometimes, but that's about it. He does a good job cleaning up after her though, so it's not too big of a deal,
Yeah, I saw his dog. You haven't gotten in any roommate fights, huh?
No, we're pretty good. We're pretty easy going, so nothing, no fights yet. But we got another year living with him, so we'll see.
Yeah, who knows? Well, totally unrelated to that, but rumor on the streets is that you're not going to be at 149 pounds next year. I'm not saying I heard that from Danny, but Is that the case? What's your weight class you're going to be at?
I'm not 100% sure. Definitely not 149 pounds. But yeah, I still gotta meet with the coaches a little bit and kind of discuss with them what they want me doing over the summer and stuff like that. So once I kind of meet with them and pick their brains a little bit, like we'll make a decision about the weight class next year.
Okay, so like in this moment, like this week, are you focused on like conserving a certain weight, or are you like spending a couple weeks and you're just growing as much as possible, and then you'll reevaluate?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna, I don't want to go out and eat McDonald's every meal, but but I'm definitely making sure I'm still eating the right things, but I'm definitely filling up the plate a little more, instead of one or two eggs, we're throwing on three or four or five, whatever it is, so
Yeah.
not going and splurging on the fast food and stuff like that, but not really holding back portions wise, I would say, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so you're kind of free eating, but you did finish
Yeah.
this past season. Now, what like maybe technically wise is your biggest focus during this off season? Is it a position, a certain move? What are you mainly focused on?
Yeah, I'd say bottom for sure. I gotta get more comfortable picking bottom in big matches and being able to get away from guys. I think that was a big factor in both of the matches against Lovett. Not being able to pick down in the Big Tens, not being able to get your one and tie it and send it to overtime, stuff like that, and then getting taken down in the first period in the quarterfinals at nationals and getting turned. Like that's a that's a extra 4 points. Puts the match way more out of reach than if I would just give up a three and get an escape. So bottom's definitely a big focus, and then I would say just like finding more attacks, being comfortable like when you are down by a point, or you are down by a couple points, like looking for scores, looking for different attacks. So just kind of building my offense, and then bottom, I would say, are two main focus for me this summer.
So I would have to guess you're working primarily with O'Connor on that, right? The bottom position.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll be looking. I mean, Coach Hunter's good too, but he's I won't be able to wrestle. Austin's good because I can wrestle with him, So,
Yeah.
but all the coaches are good to pick their brains. But yeah, I wrestle around a lot with Austin, so he's
I was
he's
gonna say.
a good partner for me.
I
Yeah.
would imagine you two have had your scraps, right? Have you ever got the best of Austin O'Connor?
he he won't like me telling this story, but there was
Let's go, baby.
when I did took it to him. He probably knows exactly the day I'm talking about because he was not happy the couple days after, and so yeah, I just remember a couple of the coaches. Like, I came up and he's like, Austin's gonna kill you, dude. And I'm like, I know, I know.
Oh man.
So yeah, there was one day when I got the better of him, but doesn't happen too often. Doesn't happen too often.
Hey, no, that's awesome, man. And listen, I'm trying to get him on the show, so maybe this will motivate him. I'd like to hear maybe his side of the story on that. But
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna predict that maybe you have maybe one day, more than one day, in this upcoming season that you get the best of him. But listen, man, I want to kind of back up before you kind of went to Illinois. You're an Illinois high school wrestling legend, three-time high school state champ. And you said you chose Illinois because it was close to home. And did you have a relationship with Coach Poeta before you went there?
not so much Coach Poeta, but my dad went to high school with Coach Medlin, and he was coaching the Washington program as I was growing up through there. So while he was never the coach at Washington while I was in high school, he was just kind of around the program. I would do summer stuff when he would coach me and stuff like that. So I definitely had a relationship with Coach Medlin when he kind of took the RTC coaching position at University at Illinois. Like it was just kind of like hey, this is where I want to be. He's my coach. I want to follow him. And then I got to build a relationship with Poeta and Coach Hunter and Austin, all them. So it worked out really well for me.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned your father, and I was going to ask you about you said his influence in your wrestling career was significant in your early years. Is it still significant? And tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. It's still significant. He sends me, ah man, he like sends me workouts every day. Like, hey, I did this today. Like, I think you should try this out. I got this new rowing workout. It gets really pumps your upper body. I think it would be good for you. And so and then like tournaments, like I texted him today about I was watching Europeans going on right now, and just texting back and forth with him. Oh, Sidikov's doing this technique. I kind of want to work this, stuff like that, So he's definitely a big influence with everything wrestling, not even just wrestling, but everything, So just kind of I'm always texting him, calling him, bouncing ideas off of him. So it's pretty great to have that relationship.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I'm familiar with a good relationship with your father, but you mentioned wrestling, watching tape. Listen, do you guys watch tape of like your matches from the prior year or upcoming opponents? Do you watch tape on upcoming opponents and scout at all? Is that a thing?
I'm not big on like scouting other opponents, but the coaches will kind of do that for me a little bit. Say, hey, kind of look out for this, whatever, But I'm more of like, I know if I can wrestle my style, like I'm gonna be all right in matches, But I also like to look back at my other matches. Like I felt like the beginning of the Big Ten season, I was kind of going through like I don't know, a little bit of slump or something. So I kind of went back and watched matches from the previous summer, places, tournaments I felt like I was wrestling pretty well at, and I was like, all right, what am I doing differently in these matches compared to these ones that I just wrestled, So like, what offense am I hitting? Like, how is my stance different? There's all these little things, How did I cut my weight different? Whatever it was. So kind of going back to places maybe I felt like I was wrestling better, and kind of seeing what I was doing there that's given me success, and what it's not translating over. You know what I mean?
So, what did you say that was like the biggest difference from this past season at the start of the year to the end of the year? I mean, because you really came on, man, at the end of the year.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, just like with talking with coaches and doing my own research and stuff like that, like I just figured out little things to change that made it a lot different, And one of them's like so small, but I vividly remember like going into the Big Ten tournament, I was telling myself like, hey, I just need to make my stance lower, Like I need to be at this guy's level or lower when I approach in my hand fight, And like I honestly think like that was the difference between the last match that when I wrestled Van Ness in the duel and the match in at Big Tens, Like he's a great hand fighter. He keeps a really high pace, and in the duel I felt like my stance was just way too high, and he's able to drop on those low level quick shots, And then at Big Tens I'm able to head block all his shots because my stance is lower, and it's way easier to like pick up on his shots when I'm in a position, So
Yeah.
yeah, just like picking up on little things like that, Like I honestly think, yeah, that made the biggest difference between the beginning of the year and the end of the year.
Yeah. Wow, man. Pretty incredible how small little changes like that, man, can make such a big difference. But is there a weight
hmm
class? I know you don't know yet, man, but is there a weight class maybe that you hope to fall into this upcoming season more so than another?
I honestly like I don't know 100%, because I want to do what's best for our team. We're gonna have a killer team next year again, same as this year. So like I want to make sure like doing my part for the team to all right, we finished top 10 this year. How can we up that? How can we come back with the team trophy? How we can get a few more All-Americans and bring a trophy back or whatever it is, So
Yep.
I'm really just want to talk with the coaches and just see what they think's going to be best for me, best for the team.
Yeah. I mean, because I was going to ask you, right now you're number 7 preseason ranked at 149 on WrestleStat. However, sounds like that's
hmm
irrelevant. But what are like your expectations, your goals for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, just I want to take this summer and just keep getting better. I think I mean, obviously, I'm nowhere near my peak potential. I'm nowhere near perfect, So it's just always trying to get better, I guess, And I think with just trying to get better comes the wins and the national titles and everything like that. Obviously, I want to be a national champ, but I want to also just keep inching closer to my potential. Keep chasing that perfection that is wrestling.
Yeah. Okay. Are included in those goals maybe becoming a first round draft pick in handball? Possibly.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I I don't know what Ryson's saying in the comments, but everyone knows. You ask anybody in the room, I'm first couple rounds. I'm a good bargain. I'm a good pick. I got the length. I don't drop many passes. I'm normally one of the ones running up and down the field. I don't just sit in the end zone. I'm I'm
Oh,
one of the
okay.
ones. I'm top commodity in handball.
Oh, all
Definitely
right.
going first, second round.
You guys have any first round handball draft picks that graduated from this past year?
Oh man,
Maybe
I wouldn't
bump
say
up?
first rounders, but I don't know. Yeah, usually first couple rounds, you're going the guys that are making plays. Kind of, I would say the guys that you know sit in midfield, but they're passers. They're able to facilitate with the team.
Hmm.
Facilitators.
I'll tell you what, man, I'm gonna have to come down to Illinois and get in on one of these handball games, dude. I'll tell you right now,
Yeah,
man.
no, they're intense. They're intense. We probably take them more serious than we should, but it's a good time. It's fun.
All right. Do you take that as intense as you take Call of Duty?
Oh, I don't know. It's a close. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty recently, so it's pretty close. I would say I got me and one other teammate. We just man, we play forever.
What are you on the new? Is it
Definitely
Modern
more than we
Warfare
should.
3? Right?
Black Ops 6
Black
we've
Ops
been
6.
playing.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other games
Yeah.
you play?
Recently, no. Every so often maybe go through like a Minecraft phase, but right now it's just strictly Call of Duty.
Yeah. Hey, man, when I was in college, I was in Call of Duty hard. So I know what that's all
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I was World at War. Yeah, you probably, were you even born when World at War came out?
No idea.
That's it, one of the original Call of Duty games right there, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
hey, you got a very a bright future and upcoming season coming up here in wrestling. Your bio
Mhm.
says you don't know what your plans are after college, though. After wrestling, have you figured that out yet? Any idea what your plans are after graduating?
I mean, my plans as of now are just wrestle as long as possible. So I would say like chasing world and Olympic titles after college. So I don't know. Don't really have a plan, to be honest. Just I want to wrestle.
Yeah.
That's all. It's about it.
Who's the top? Who's the top like 2, 3 guys you're practicing with in the room now?
I go with I'll go with Austin a lot. I'd go a lot like Scholes, Braden Scholes. I go with a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
I would go with Danny like during the season a lot when I was like a little closer down to weight, but I'm sure he doesn't want to wrestle me anymore now that we're in the off season. I'm a little bigger than him, so
That's what I hear.
yeah,
Who?
yeah. So
Listen. Who's the
yeah,
funniest? Who's the funniest guy on the team?
funniest guy. Oof. I'm like right now. I'm visually like in the locker room, like looking at all the name tags right now, going across the
Maybe that
lockers.
means it's you, dude. Are you the? Are you the
It's not
jokester?
me. It's not me. I'm definitely not the jokester. Um, we had a grad transfer. Uh, I would say Jason. He came in. He was my roommate also this past year. He's pretty funny. I'd say Luff, honestly. Luff is the jokester for
Luke
sure.
Luffman?
He's always, yep. He's always got some meme he's sending into the group chat. Some homemade meme he's got. He's
Really?
making
Okay.
edits and sit. He's a graduate student. He doesn't have a lot of schoolwork to do, so he's sitting sitting on his computer making funny pictures and memes and stuff. So I gotta say Luff probably.
All
Luff's
right.
loves the jokester on the team.
Yeah, he'd probably be a good one to talk to. What about like who's like the most serious, the most percentage of the time? Maybe the toughest to make laugh.
Honestly, I might be on this list.
Really?
I laugh a lot, but I'm also like pretty serious, you know, when we're in the practice room and stuff, I'm pretty serious. Skulls is probably up there. Like we joke a lot, but like when it's in the room when we're in the room, it's pretty serious, you know.
I hear you take Call of Duty pretty serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Danny said, but hey man, listen.
Yeah, he's got to live with it. He probably hears me from the basement screaming sometimes.
Hey, I'm sure you expect me to. I'm gonna use some Kannon sound effects for this.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
how often you hear about how cool your name is, dude?
A lot, you know. I feel like anytime I introduce myself to people, like new people, that oh, that's a cool name, you know. Like people, like especially like around, like if I have like a I don't know a group project or school or something, I gotta introduce myself or something. People are always like, oh, that's a cool name, you know.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. The worst about it is like you go to like a coffee shop and they're like, oh, what's the name for the order? And I say Cannon and they always spell it wrong.
Yep.
It's always with a C or it's with one N, you know. It's never just it's never with a K, never with two N's. They always spell it wrong.
Yeah. Well, I know, and when you type it in, and if you just hit enter on like an Apple, it autocorrects to Kannon with a C.
Yeah.
So you got to go back.
Yeah.
And check your work, man. But hey, man,
Yeah.
listen, I appreciate you coming on, man. Where can people go to find you at?
You can go to my Instagram. I don't even know if I know it. Kannon _ Webster 12, maybe. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
You doing any
Twitter,
camps or anything?
I'm not very active on it, but yeah, I got a couple camps during the summer. Actually, I'm trying to stay a little organized, so once I get the flyers for the camps, I'm gonna put them in like my stories, whatever, on the Instagram.
Yep.
Whatever bio or whatever it is, the memories, the story memories, or whatever. So if you're looking to come to a camp, search through those, find the closest one, whatever, you know.
Share them with me, man. Yeah.
Show some technique. Yeah.
We're happy to share them ourselves, but hey, man, like I said, I really appreciate you coming on. You're the Illinois freshman phenom, folks. We don't know what weight class is going to be at. Kannon Webster here. Kannon, final thoughts, and man, thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. It was really great. You know, I love being able to kind of, I guess, share what I know. Not that I know much, but share what I know, and yeah.
Hey, folks, you're going to be hearing a lot more from him in the upcoming year. So this is Kannon Webster here on BEG Wrestling, folks. Like and subscribe, and come back again. Thanks, Kannon.
Thank you.
Brief me on what it's about real quick.
So I took a trip to Russia for a training camp, and I got lost doing a run in the mountains in Russia. So yeah,
I'm calling it Lost in Russia.